Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, when we come to this human world, we had no one to help for our lives except our parents. Parents are the people who greeted us to this world, and they nurtured us, they fed us, and they took care of us. And moreover, they sacrificed a part of their life on behalf of us. So parents are very special people that we find in our lives. But we live in a society where parents are neglected and they are not considered as special people. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, parents are special people to your life. You have to consider those two people, your mother and your father, as special people. Now let me introduce to the words of our great teacher Supreme Buddha about our parents. Supreme Buddha said, Brahmati Mata Pitaro. Our parents are like Brahmas. So who is a Brahma? Brahma consists of 4 divine qualities. What are those qualities? Number 1, metta, the kindness. Karuna, compassion. Mudita, appreciative joyfulness. And upekha, the equanimity. These 4 divine qualities are consist with the Brahman, as well as our parents too. Parents do have metta, the kindness towards their children. Karuna, mudita, and upekha. All these divine qualities are with our parents toward the children. So we need to give a special place in our life for our parents. Supreme Buddha taught, Brahmati Mata Pitaro. Parents are like Brahmas. Pubbacharya cha vuchare. They are the first teachers of our life. They taught us to walk, how to walk. They taught us how to live our life. And they were the first teachers that we met in our life. Now we learned how to talk by our parents, by listening to their words. So we learned how to talk. Now can you remember how your parents helped you in walking? They hold you from the hands and they taught you how to walk. So we learned to walk by our parents. So that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha teaches us, parents are your first teachers. Pubbacharya cha uchare. Ahuneya cha puttana. Parents are worthy of gifts and offerings and venerations by their children. Even they come from the long distance far away to see their parents. So Ahuneya cha puttana, they are worthy of offerings. Pajaya anukampaka, parents do have the compassion and they wish for the well-being of their children. So they are the ones who love you the most in your life, children. They are the ones who always think about your development, your benefits, your well-being of your life. So we have to respect those people. Until the end of their life, we have to respect them, we have to look after them, because we are in debt to our parents, because they gave our life and they took care of our life when we could not do anything. When we were little babies, We could not do anything in our life. So what we have to do, when they could not do anything in their life, when they become old, we have to take care of them. We have to give a respect to our parents. So when you are living with your parents, always respect them, look after them, take care of them, and make them happy and proud by doing so many good deeds and helping them. If you give a big concern to your parents, and if you help them, and if you make them happy, you can live a wonderful and happy life by helping your parents. So help your parents, take care of them, and live a happy life. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, have you ever been criticized by someone in your life? We all have been in that situation in all of our lives. No one can stop other people to criticize us. That is something that is out of our control. You have to keep it in your mind. Criticism, blames, scoldings, and other people's opinions in our life is something that we cannot control by ourselves. That is called the things are out of our control. So, we cannot stop for other person to judge us. Now, normally the nature of people is always they are judging us. They keep on judging, they keep on criticizing, and we cannot stop them. Once our great teacher Supreme Buddha explained this to a Brahmin called Atula. Supreme Buddha said, Purana metang Atula, netang ajjatanamiva. Supreme Buddha explained, Atula, it came from the ancient time. Nindanti tunhi ma'asina. People will criticize us when we become silent. Nindanti bahubanina. People will criticize when a person who is talking too much. Mitabanim pinindanti. When we speak moderately, when we live our life moderately, people may criticize us. Natti loke anindito. There's no person, there's not a single person who has not been criticized by someone in this world. This verse shows us we all have been criticized in this life. We all have been in that situation in our life. So it is a common phenomena or common incident that we have to face in our life. So how to face these criticisms? Well, there are two types of criticisms in our life. One is the criticisms or the criticizers that which helps us to develop our good qualities. Now, the people who always wish the good of us, our parents, our teachers, our elders, may advise you. Like they may criticize our faults. When we face or when we are in such situations, always listen to those criticisms. Always listen to those advices. Do not consider it as a bad thing. Do not consider it as a negative criticism. It is a positive criticism. You can develop the good qualities and you can make your faults correct when you listen to those advices. So they are called positive criticism. And there's another criticism, and then that is the negative criticizing. People may criticize out of jealous. People may criticize us out of anger. They always keep on criticizing it. We cannot stop it. So when we face such situations, the nature of this mind is we become sad, we become depressed, the anxiety will start to develop inside our mind. And what we do is When we face and when we hear those criticism to our life, we stop the good things, good practices that we are practicing in our life. You should not do that. You should not give up practicing the merits. You should not give up doing good deeds because of others' words. Dear meritorious children and my dear devotees, do not be backed down from criticizing. Face that. Listen to that. But never stop the good of your life. Never stop doing the good in your life. So we all have to face this common incident in our life. So the more we face the criticism in our life, the more we will have the opportunity to build up good qualities within ourselves. So don't think the criticism as a bad thing. They help you to develop good qualities in your life. When you face negative criticism, always be patient. Always be kind towards them. Because they have judged us, they have come to a conclusion about us which is wrong. So what we have to do, we should not argue with them. We should not try to talk back. We should not try to prove them that they are wrong. So what we have to do, just be silent, just be patient, and always keep on practicing and never stop doing the good deeds and good practices in your life. If you keep on practicing the good things in your life will be successful. It is the nature that when we start doing something good, something wholesome, or when we start doing a service to this world, something good to this world, it is the nature we all face the criticism. All the people who had done a great service to this world, even our great teacher Supreme Buddha, faced criticism. So there's nothing to talk about us. So what we have to do, we have to face those criticism. The more we face the criticism in our life, the more our life will be beautiful. So don't just go through your life. Always grow through your life. When you face those hard times and difficulties in your life, you will always grow through your life. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. In this long journey of life, there are some times that we have to face unfair situations, right? People, when they face unfair situations, they may think, why is this happening to me? Why always me? Why I am going in this difficult situation? Why I am treated unfair? Now, the first thing that we all have to remember is life is meant to be unfair. The problem with us is we expect that our unfair life to be fair, right? So there's a problem that we expect the fairness from the unfair life. So the more we expect the fairness, we will remain sad, we will remain depressed. So Supreme Buddha advised us that you should not expect the fairness in your life. Supreme Buddha said, whatever in others' control, whatever thing that is in others' control is painful. And the one who seeks the fairness will remain frustrated always. That means the more we expect the fairness, the more we remain frustrated. So what we have to do is, we have to keep our expectations low. Now you have to remember that everything that is in others' control, that are in others' control, cannot be controlled by yourself. That is out of your control, right? You cannot control the words of the people. You cannot control the criticism. You cannot control how people treat you, right? So they are out of your control. The thing that is in your control is your response to them, your reaction to them. So if you react with anger, if you become frustrated with life's difficult situations, right? If you become angry when others treat you badly, you will lose your life's battle. So we are battling in this world with two things, with this physical world as well as our mental and spiritual world. The hardest battle that we can win in our life is the battle with our spirituality. So it is very hard to be calm in difficult situations. It is very hard to be kind when the people treat you badly. So what you have to do, you have to stop expecting the fairness in your life, because the nature of this life is unfair. That is why Supreme Buddha said, everyone who seeks the fairness in this life will remain frustrated, will remain suffered. So stop expecting from others. Instead, give everything to them, but do not expect to them. Sometimes you may think, I am giving my love to this world. Why I am not getting it back? Don't be upset. Though you are not received love in this life, in this time, in this moment, make sure one day, as a result of your action, as a result of giving love to this world, as a result of serving to this world, you are going to be loved one day. You are going to be served one day. You are going to be happy one day as a result of that action. So believe in the law of karma, right? If you give something good, definitely you will get something good. And if you give something bad out, if you do something bad, you will get something bad. So keep your expectations low. Do not expect the fairness in this life, and move on this life by doing good deeds and being happy with your life. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, we start our day in the morning. So morning is an important time in the day. If we did something good, and if we spend our morning successfully, then the whole day will be very happy and nice. At the end of the day, when you're going to bed, you can recall about you on your day, and you can be happy if you start the day with a happy mind. So the morning is more important in our life. So how you spend the morning determines how you spend the day. So if you start the day, if you start in the morning, if you start your day with a good thought, with a wholesome thought, then your whole day will be happy. That refreshment will last long for the whole day. So here are a few things that you can do in every morning. In each and every morning, when you open your eyes, you feel that you are alive, that you feel that you are not dead. But for many people, that morning had been the worst morning of their life. They may be dead, they may fall into sickness. So in each and every morning, when you open your eyes and when you feel that you are alive, then you should be grateful for yourself, to your life of being alive. You can be happy. And always be grateful for people who helped you to live this life. With the help of those people, you are living in this world. So, in each and every morning, when you open your eyes to this world, think of the people who helped you on your life journey. Your parents, your teachers, maybe your relations, maybe your wife, maybe your husband. Always recall the people who helped you on this journey of life and be grateful for them. In every morning, when you get up, if you can think, may all of my parents, teachers, relatives, and all of them be well and happy. If you can wish from the deepest place of your heart, if you can generate the kindness, love to themselves, then you can start your day with a happy mind. And also, there are some people who makes troubles for our life. So we are in a mood of anger about them. When you get up in the morning, think of them and try to forgive them. If you started forgiving to the people who makes troubles in your life, if you start forgiving to the enemies of you, then you can live your life peacefully. You may not find the agony or you may not find the stress within yourself because you have forgiven them. Though they are angry with you, though they hate you, if you have forgiven, then you will not carry that anger, that hatred to the next life. That is what we should do. If someone does a terrible or miserable thing to your life, start forgiving. Then in each and every morning, forgive all the enemies and all the people who makes troubles to your life. That is another thing that we can do in every morning. And think of the all living beings in this world, and spread your love and kindness towards them. You can think, may all the beings be well and happy. May all the beings be healthy. May all living beings find the true happiness in their life. By generating these kind thoughts, compassionate thoughts, your heart will be cleansed. If your heart is abandoned from evil thoughts, then only you can find the happiness. Then only you can start your day with a happy mind. Then only your whole day will be a successful and a happy one. So make sure in every morning you practice the love and kindness when you get up. That is what we can do in every morning. Every morning starts with the dawn. Dawn is a special and beautiful time in the day. But that dawn, that beautiful and wonderful dawn, cannot make your life a beautiful one, a wonderful one. Supreme Buddha taught, if a person in the morning contemplates on Supreme Buddha, if he recalls the qualities of Dhamma, if he recalls the qualities of Sangha, if he generates the love and kindness within his heart, if he has an innocent heart within him, that morning will be the greatest and the wonderful morning that he is having in his life. So, dear devotees and my dear children, make sure in every morning to practice love and kindness. Be grateful for the people who you get the help to your life, and always contemplate on the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and be kind, be compassionate, and practice love and kindness whenever possible. And always remember, every time is possible for you to practice love and kindness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, life is so beautiful when it is filled with good qualities. Normally, our mind tends to do the bad things and evil things. That is the nature of your mind. But if we practiced our mind to turn all those evil thoughts to good thoughts or wholesome thoughts, then our life will be wonderful. So the more you practice good qualities like compassion, love, kindness, and unselfishness, so all those good qualities makes your life a beautiful and wonderful one. So always we have to focus on the wholesome side of our mind. Yes, we are a mixture of good and bad. There is no single person in this world who is with 100% good qualities. And there is no a single person who is living in this world with 100% bad qualities. We are a mixture of good as well as the bad. So what we have to do to make our lives a better one is to focus on the wholesome side of our mind and practice and develop that part of your mind. The more you develop the wholesome part and the wholesome side of your mind, the less the evil thoughts may appear in the life. So that is based on the practice. Whatever you practice in your mind and in your life, in your day, and that particular thing will be the repetition of the whole life. That means if you practice the evil thoughts again and again and again, what will happen? Always your mind will be in the evil side. But if you practice good qualities again and again, always your mind tends to think, do, and work in the wholesome side of your mind. So that is why it is very important to develop the good qualities, good human qualities in the life. So one of the basic and the foremost human wholesome quality is compassion. Compassion we called in Pali language karuna. Karuna means, our great teacher Supreme Buddha explained this word, Paradukkhe hadayang kampetiti karuna. Feeling the sadness when others are going through a sad time in their life, if you feel sad, then that is what you call the compassion. And it simply means being sad and feeling the sadness when others are feeling sad, and being happy when others are being happy. That is what you call compassion. So if you have a compassionate heart, then you will feel the sadness of others. The more we develop the compassion in our mind, we can understand the situation of other people. Now, normally in this world, it is very rare to a person to understand others' situation. It is very hard to be in others' shoes. So always when we develop the compassion within our mind, then we will have the opportunity to understand the suffering, sadness, the critical situations of others. Then, if you develop the compassion, then you will have the opportunity to help them. You will tend to help others. You will tend to sacrifice a part of your life on behalf of others. Life is not living only for yourself. A happy and wonderful life is something that we should live for others also. The most and the greatest compassionate person who ever lived in this world is our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. He sacrificed his whole life to find the reality and the truth of this birth and death. And he tried very hard to escape from this suffering. And he tried and he sacrificed his life to escape all these beings from this suffering. So our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, is the best and the foremost model of compassion that we can find in this world. He sacrificed his whole life on behalf of us. So being unselfish and sacrificing our life for others, helping others, being compassionate is a good quality that you can develop in your life. If you be compassionate and if you help others, if you treat others with your kind words, kind actions, and kind intentions, then those broken hearts will be healed. If you use the compassionate words, those words can heal the broken hearts of people. So that is one of the biggest happiness that we can have in our life. That is called the mental pleasure. The pleasure of helping others. The pleasure that we gain by being compassionate. So after we grown old and when we are facing the death and when we are living on our deathbed, we can recall our past and the way we lived, and we can be happy with that. Always remember, it is not matter how long you live. Always it matters how you lived. So, when you are living your life, try to practice these good qualities, good human qualities. Try to be a good human, a compassionate, a kind, and lovable human. Then only you will have the opportunity to find the real peace and happiness in your life. So I wish you all, may all of you find the ultimate happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine a situation that you have been accused for a mistake that you haven't done. So when someone scolds you, or when someone complains you about a mistake that you haven't done, can you maintain your inner peace at that moment? Can you be kind to that person at that moment? Most of us loses our temper and we start to prove ourselves that we are not wrong and you are the person who has gone wrong. So is it okay to do such things in such situations? Is it okay to always to prove that we are right in such situations? No. In some situations, we have to stay silent, we have to stay kind, and we have to maintain our inner peace without getting frustrated. So how to stay calm and peaceful within such adversive situations. Here's how to do it. In Dhamma, it says, if you stay like water, if you had a mind like water, you will have the opportunity to stay calm during such adversive environments. So how to stay like water? In Supreme Buddha's Dhamma, it describes about the water. The nature of the water is it can accept every negative thing. Now people use water for cleaning purposes. They wash their hands, they wash blood, pus, urine, and so many disgusting things. But yet, water does not complain. It does not blame. It does not become angry. It always maintains its peacefulness and it is always cool. So what you have to do in such situations, in such adversive situations, you have to stay like water. You have to say to yourself that I must stay like water and I'm not going to say anything and I'm not going to prove that I am right. So always maintain your inner peace. Don't let anyone to distract that. Don't let anyone to control your emotions and make you sad. Because if you make your mentality and spirituality distracted, that disadvantage is yours. If you maintain your inner peace in such adversive situations, that advantage is also yours. So what you have to do? You have to stay like water. Accept and absorb every negative things that comes from outer world. It may be criticism, it may be blames, scoldings, whatever the things they are, you have to absorb them and you have to emit another good thing to this world. You can be kind to them. You can stay silent and you can be patient. The more you develop these divine qualities, you can live happily in your life. You can have a heart that is without the anger and resentment. When your heart is escaped from anger and resentment, you can live freely and you can sleep better. So what you have to do? Stay like water. Be like water. The more you be like water, the more your life will be cooled. So I wish you all, may all of you have the opportunity to be like water and find the ultimate happiness in this world. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, throughout the day, we think thousands and millions of thoughts. So among these thoughts, most of them are negative, and only few among them are called positive. So that is the nature of our mind, that it is always tends to the negative side, to the dark side. So throughout the day, in most of the times, negative thoughts may pop up in our mind. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us that we should eliminate these negative thoughts. The thoughts that makes us distracted and the thoughts that disrupt our inner peace, these thoughts should be eliminated. So today we are going to learn and talk about few steps that we can do or practice in our practical life to eliminate these negative thoughts. First of all, let's learn and know what are the negative thoughts. Supreme Buddha taught us the negative thoughts are, the evil thoughts are the thoughts of anger, hatred, resentment, delusion, lust, and desire. So these thoughts ruin our inner peace. These thoughts disrupt our inner peace. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us some ways to practice in our practical life to eliminate these negative thoughts. Supreme Buddha taught, as the first step, when a negative thought pop up in your mind. Now suppose the anger popped up in your mind. So what we can do, as the first step, Supreme Buddha taught, you should shift that negative thought to something positive. Now for an example, if you got angry with someone, what you can do is, you can shift that thought of anger to the thought of loving kindness. So that is what we call the opposite thought of anger. So if your mind is in evil side, right, if you are angry, if you have the resentment in your mind, if you have the jealousy in your mind, you can do the opposite thing of that. To do that, you will have to have the consciousness and mindfulness in your mind, because we have to detect what the thought is. So Supreme Buddha taught, you can shift your mind from unwholesome thoughts to wholesome thoughts. When you are shifting those thoughts from evil side to the wholesome side, Supreme Buddha taught, those evil thoughts, distracting thoughts, and the thoughts of anger, resentment, and ill will may constantly, with the time, they may fade away. So as the first step, what you have to do, you can shift, you can give your attention from evil side to the wholesome side of your mind. Now you have to remember, in your mind, there will always prevail evil as well as the wholesome. The problem with us is, we are giving a big attention to this evil side. So as a practice, as a habit, make a practice of contemplating and giving attention to the wholesome things in your mind. Then, with the time, those evil thoughts may fade away. So that is the first step. As the second step, Supreme Buddha taught us, if these evil thoughts did not fade away by just shifting your attention from evil to the wholesome, so as the second step, Supreme Buddha taught us, always examine the danger of that thought. Now you have to know that evil thoughts are dangerous and they are harmful for our mind. Now normally, when we are eating food, we have big concern to clean them up. Right? When you take vegetables, you wash them, and you cook them properly, and you eat. Because you know and you have a big concern in your mind that if I eat something bad, if I eat something corrupted, I will get a stomachache. I will get into a problem with health problem. So we have a big attention about what we eat, what we put from our mouth to our stomach. But we don't give a big attention to what we put into our mind through our eyes and ears and our sixth sense basis. So Supreme Buddha taught that you should give a big attention to what you are thinking, whether it is dangerous or whether it is beneficial for your life. So Supreme Buddha taught that you have to examine the dangerous side of these evil thoughts. When you're examining these things, then you get afraid of thinking these evil thoughts. Now suppose, whenever you get angry, if you can think, oh, this anger is not good for me. If I died when I'm in anger, I will never get a good rebirth. Supreme Buddha explained us, if you died in anger, you will never have a good rebirth. So Supreme Buddha taught that you should examine this danger. Always remember the evil thoughts of anger, resentment, jealous, lust, hatred, all these evil thoughts are harmful for our mind. Now, stomachache, when you eat something corrupted, when you eat something rotten, it can be cured by just taking medicines. But if you put something into your mind that is corrupted, that corrupted mind cannot be cured easily. So examine the dangerous side. That is the second step that we can do. As the third step, Supreme Buddha advised us, there are some powerful evil thoughts that may not fade away by just examining the dangerous side of these thoughts. So what you have to do, as the third step, Supreme Buddha taught, just ignore them. Do not give a big attention to those thoughts. If we let the thoughts to be thoughts, then by the time that evil thoughts may fade away. So what we have to do, when an evil thought comes into your mind, just ignore it. Don't let it control yourself. Now, the problem with us is when an evil thought pops up in your mind, we act upon them, we speak upon them. So if you got angry with someone, if you got jealous on someone, never do anything and never say anything. Let your evil thought to be a thought and it will fade away with the time. That is the third step that we can do. Just to ignore it. We should not give a big attention to that evil thought. Okay? Then here comes the fourth step. Supreme Buddha taught, there are some powerful evil thoughts that may not fade away by even ignoring it. They may not fade away. Then Supreme Buddha advised us, if those evil thoughts are not fading away, just examine how that evil thought formed up in your mind. Right? So if you got jealous in your mind, if the jealous pops up in your mind, so what you have to think? You have to think how these thoughts are forming in our mind, in my mind. Then you will realize that I have seen someone's success, someone is living happily, and I got jealous on that person. Then you know that how your thoughts are forming. When you're thinking about the formation of your thoughts, you are drifting your mind from evil thoughts to the wholesome side. You're shifting your mind. You're not giving a big attention to the evil side. So constantly you will forget those evil thoughts and they may fade away. That is the fourth step that we can do. Here comes the fifth step, and this is the final thing that we can do. Supreme Buddha advised, if these evil thoughts are not fading away by examining how these thoughts are formed up in your mind, Supreme Buddha said, take a big effort to your body, take a big effort to your mind, and threaten your mind that I am not going to act upon these thoughts. I'm not going to do these things. I'm not going to say these words from my mouth. Because if we did something when our mind is in evil side, if we did something from our body, all those physical actions are evil. If we say something from our mouth when our mind is in evil side, all those words are evil. So you can threaten your mind that I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to act upon my evil thoughts. You can crush your mind by your mind. You can crush those evil thoughts by your mind. So Supreme Buddha said, that is the final protocol that we can do. If you constantly practice these 5 steps, then you will have the opportunity to develop wholesome thoughts, develop wholesome qualities within your mind, because that will make a habit. Now, normally, we have made a habit of practicing and thinking evil thoughts. So if you are shifting your evil thoughts to the wholesome thoughts, then that will make a habit of wholesome thoughts. And finally, one day, you will feel that you are thinking only wholesome thoughts throughout the day. So I wish you all, by practicing these 5 advices that was given by our great teacher Supreme Buddha, may all of you have the opportunity to develop wholesome practices and wholesome qualities and generate wholesome thoughts throughout the day. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, welcome to Inner Guide program. Today, from this episode, I'm going to share with you an important quality that we all should develop within ourselves to achieve the successfulness and to achieve the goals in our life. So that special quality is known as the consistency. What do you mean by consistency? Consistency means doing something, a special work, special actions, without stopping for a long period of time. So that is what you call consistency. To achieve big goals, to achieve your dreams in your life, you need to have this special quality of consistency. If you are a student, you need to study consistently. If you are an entrepreneur, you have to take decisions and you have to try hard to develop your business consistently. If you are a person who is practicing spirituality, you need to practice that consistently. So, consistent, doing something again and again without stopping, without giving up, will make our careers into perfection. Right? It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how bright you are. All you need to do is to practice this consistency. So I'm going to teach you today 2 tips that you can develop and you can practice to bring this consistency to your work. Because if we did not practice the continuity of our work, we may do our work for sometimes a short period of time, and we may give up. So consistency is the key for success. Here are the 2 tips that we can practice to bring the consistency to our work. Number 1, you must have low expectations when you are doing your work. You have to expect very low progress in the beginning. Now, why do I say like that? Now, most of the time, when we take meditators, the people who are meditating, sometimes they sit for the meditation expecting that their mind to be tranquilized and calm and peaceful all at once. But that will not happen although we liked for that, although we looked for that. So if we make more and high expectations, the problem is that you are expecting the results. You are expecting instant results. Now, in the life's problems, in the life's goals, you cannot expect and you can gain the results instantly. All the achievements, all the successful and good achievements in this world and in this life are slow. It should be done step by step. It takes time. It's meandering. So it is very slow. So what you have to do, you have to expect a little progress in one session of practice, right? So now people may think that people may say to you that you need to have big expectations and you have to do a lot, right? But by doing a lot at one time makes you tired. Then that is why people are giving all at once. Right? In the first day of meditation, they meditate for about 3 hours and they get tired of that and they give up. So what you have to do is you have to expect very little progress. Slow progress is better than no progress, right? So you have to keep your expectations low. If you make high expectations, you will suffer because you become obsessed with the results. Sometimes the results may not come to us as we want it to be, right? So what we have to do, we have to keep our expectations low. We have to expect a very low progress from one practice, right? If you are studying, if you studied for 1 hour, don't think that you have done it for the perfection. Now you are knowledgeable. No. It will make you a small progress, but it is very small. So you have to be happy with that small progress in your life, right? So then, when you are not making high expectations, you will not become frustrated about your results because you are expecting a low result. Then, if you are doing this again and again consistently, that will increase your progress, right? That will increase your results. So if you meditate for 20 minutes a day, right? If you keep on doing this daily as a daily practice, then one day you will have the ability to gain a peaceful and calm mind. But if you practice 3 hours all at once, then after that, if you give up, you will make no progress in that meditation. So what you have to do, you have to practice this consistency. To practice this consistency, you have to expect little progress from one session and keep on doing it, right? It's like this. Now, a tiny drop of water, when a tiny drop of water falls on a rock, it doesn't make any change on that rock. But what if those tiny drops of water falls again and again and again, continuously, consistently to that rock? What will happen? With the time, it will make a huge hole in that rock. So that tiny drop of water could not make any difference, any change on that rock in the beginning. But if it was keep falling onto that rock again and again and again consistently, that will make the change. So in the beginning, right, when you're beginning your careers, right, when you are starting to meditate, when you are starting to study, in the first year, in the first month, or maybe in the first day, that will never make any change. But remember, you are on that path of progression, right? You are doing it consistently, and I'm very sure one day you can achieve the goal that you always wanted to be. So what you have to do, you have to keep your expectations very low, right? But you have to keep doing it consistently. That one day you will have the ability or the opportunity to gain the achievements and successful achievements in your life. That is the first tip. Here's the second tip that you need to have to practice the consistency. You have to be patient. That is one of the greatest quality that we can have to our life, the patience. If you have the patience, you can wait until the problems are switched off in your life, right? You will not be backed down from the problems. You will not fall down from the problems. You can wait until they are fade away from your life, right? There may be dark days. There may be days that you feel like you are giving up, right? There may be days that you feel tired. But if you have the patience, you will never give up in your careers. So what you have to do, you have to have the patience. You have to wait, right? So little by little, if you are going to that goal, if you are walking to that goal, then one day, right? It may be not today, it may be not tomorrow, maybe not in next month, but one day, make sure one day you are going to achieve all the goals that you have in your life. So if you need to practice consistency, you have to have these two qualities. Number one, it is to have the low expectations. Be not frustrated about the results that you are having currently. If you are keeping on doing this as a daily basis, that will make you success in the long run. So what you have to do, you have to make your expectations low and you have to be patient. If you practice these qualities, you can bring the consistency to your work. Then one day you will achieve all the goals that you dreamt about in your life, and you can be happy one day. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranam. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, we all know it is very easy to swim down a stream, but it takes effort and pain and courage to swim up the stream. And also, it is very easy to run down a hill, but it takes courage, sweat, and effort to climb up to the hill. This means that there are so many easy things that we can do in our life, but most of them does not bring the happiness to our life. When you swim down a stream, you are going down. When you are running down a hill, you are running down, not up. But if you need to climb up, if you need to swim up, it takes effort. You need to try hard. That means it is very easy to do the things that brings us down, and it takes effort and a lot of hard work to bring us to a higher level in our life. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha explained, Sukarani asadhuni attano ahitani. It is very easy to do evil things which brings the suffering to you and as well as to the others. Yangve hitangcha sadungcha tangve paramadukkaram. It is very hard. It takes great courage, pain to do the good things which brings the happiness to you and as well as to the others. Our mind is programmed to do easy things. Now, for an example, if you were to choose two jobs, one is hard and the other one is easy, which one would you choose? Of course, you will choose the easy one because we always like to do what is easy. So that is the nature of our mind and our life. Doing evil things, doing bad things, doing unwholesome things is very easy. Now, for an example, it is very easy to kill a mosquito. All you need to do to slap on the mosquito and kill it. But it takes patience, love, kindness, and mindfulness to not to kill that animal and save that animal's life. It is very easy to tell a lie when a trouble comes to our life, when we are facing a problem. We can escape from problems by telling lies. But it takes discipline, honesty, and courage, mindfulness to not to tell a lie and always tell the truth. It is very easy to blame someone. When you get angry, if you lose your temper, it is very easy to blame someone. But it takes patience, love, kindness, discipline to not to blame someone and hurt others' feelings. The things that brings us unhappiness or suffering are easy to do. So that is the nature of this world. But it is very difficult to do the things which brings the happiness to ourselves and to the others. Supreme Buddha always advises us to do the wholesome things, to do the good things. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha told us, you should always focus on the wholesome side of your mind. You should never practice the evil things in your mind. You should abandon the evil in your mind. The more we practice the wholesome side, the more we practice the good things in our life, we can be good forever. Our life will become good and we will be wholesome forever. Doing wholesome things, practicing good things, good qualities, being a good human is very difficult. Because all these good things are not familiar to our life. Because we used to do evil things, our mind tends to do evil things. So what we have to do, we should not give up doing good. We can be generous to others. You should practice generosity. We can be kind to others. You can practice kindness. You can love all the living beings in this world. So Supreme Buddha told us to do what is hard. And what is hard is the good, the wholesome things. So what we have to do is we have to keep on practicing, keep on doing good deeds always. We have to discipline our mind. We should not let our mind to wander here and there. We should not let our mind to be undisciplined. Even though they are hard jobs, even though they are hard things to do, what we have to do is we have to keep on practicing these things. Because if we did what is easy today, our life will be hard tomorrow. If we did what is hard today, our life will be easy tomorrow. So what we have to do is we have to keep on practicing what is hard to do. That is the good things, good practices. Patience, love, kindness, not becoming angry, not telling lies, living a truthful life, saving the living beings' lives. Those are the things that are very hard to do. Most of the people who live in this society are not caring about others' lives, other animals' lives. They kill little animals. But only a few among us saves other animals' lives. They love other animals' lives. So you should be among those few people. Most of the people tell lies when they face problems. They escape from the problems by telling lies. But there is very few who tell the truth even though they are facing a problem by telling the truth. You should become among those few people. Very few among us gives the trust to the others who are around us, who are living with us. It may be your husband, your wife, your relations. Most of the people does not give the trust to their relations, the people around them who are living around them. It may be your husband, your wife, your relations, your father, your mother. They don't give the trust to them. They cheat them. But very few among us live a trustful and trustworthy life. You should be a trustworthy person. You should become a trustworthy person. So you should always focus on the good deeds, wholesome deeds. And the more you focus on the wholesome deeds and the spiritual practice of your life, you will become a good person. You will become a good human. Always you should focus on good human qualities like patience, love, kindness, and living a compassionate life. So, my dear devotees and my dear children, do what 99% of the population does not do. If you do what is hard today, you can be happy tomorrow. And if you do what is easy today, you will never be happy forever. So practice good deeds. Be good and do good. Namo Buddhaya.